Bedtime Stories for Giants. If you like these stories and want to follow along on the Giants' adventures, please hit the subscribe button down below. Don't forget to like this video. I hope you enjoy the story.
Tell me a giant story.
Once upon a time, up on a giant mountain, between the rocky boulders, was a garden. And in that garden, there lived a jolly pumpkin named Oliver. He was no ordinary pumpkin, for his heart radiated warmth, and he was brimming with adventure. This year, as autumn arrived and the leaves painted themselves in shades of gold, Oliver would be carved into a delightful jack-o'-lantern and placed on the doorstep of a home on the mountain. This mountain home was home to a loving and imaginative giant family. Every year, they would eagerly await the first signs of fall and the arrival of the perfect pumpkin on their doorstep. The pumpkin this year would be Oliver. Oliver would cast a warm, flickering glow that filled their hearts with joy, and together, they would embark on exciting adventures in the world of make-believe. But this year was different. As autumn approached and Oliver was plucked from his vine and lovingly placed on the giant's doorstep after being carved with a jolly, warm face, a sense of restlessness crept into Oliver's heart. He longed to go on an adventure to see the world beyond the garden and the mountain home's doorstep. He longed to find his pumpkin family, whom he had lost touch with many months ago. On one crisp moonlit night, as the giant family slumbered peacefully, Oliver decided the time had come to fulfill his dreams. Carefully, he rolled off the doorstep, his glow illuminating the path that wound down the giant's mountain into the village below. The village, bathed in the silvery light of the moon, had never looked more enchanting. Oliver ventured down the path, his cheerful demeanor lighting up the darkness, casting playful shadows on the village's quaint cottages. As he rolled along, he encountered a group of owls perched on a nearby tree. With curious hoots, they asked,
"Where are you off to, Jolly Jack?"
Oliver, beaming his brightest smile, replied, "I'm off on an adventure to find my pumpkin family. It's a journey I've dreamt of for months." The wise owls shared their knowledge of the world beyond the village and wished him well on his quest. With newfound courage, Oliver continued his journey. Soon, he reached the edge of the village and entered the enchanted forest that bordered it. The trees stood tall and majestic, their branches forming a leafy canopy that seemed to touch the sky. Fireflies danced around him, the golden glow creating a magical ambiance. Oliver rolled along the forest path, his curiosity leading the way. He encountered a friendly squirrel named Sammy, who was busily gathering acorns for the winter.
"Hello there, Jolly Jack.
Sammy chattered.
What brings you to our forest?"
Oliver shared his desire to find his family, and Sammy, with a mischievous sparkle in his eye, offered to be his guide. The squirrel knew the forest like the back of his paw and had heard tales of pumpkin families in distant glades. Together, they ventured deeper into the woodland. Their journey led them to a sparkling brook where colorful fish leaped playfully in the clear waters, They climbed a mossy hill adorned with glowing mushrooms and passed through a grove of ancient, whispering trees. Each roll he made filled Oliver's heart with wonder. As day turned to night, they came upon a clearing where fireflies gathered, illuminating the night with their magical dance. Oliver couldn't resist joining in the festivities. With a joyful twirl, he became the center of their twinkling circle. The fireflies welcomed him warmly and shared stories of their adventures throughout the forest. Oliver listened with delight, feeling grateful for the new friends he had made. Their tales included encounters with mischievous raccoons, playful foxes, and even a wise old bat who knew the secret paths of the forest. As dawn approached, Oliver knew it was time to bid his forest friends farewell. Sammy the squirrel led him back to the edge of the village. After his memorable journey through the enchanted forest, Oliver couldn't shake the thought of his long-lost pumpkin family. He knew that he had come this far, and he couldn't give up now. Determined and filled with hope, Oliver went in search of clues that would lead him to his pumpkin family. He remembered Sammy the squirrel's tales of distant glades where pumpkin families resided. Following Sammy's word, he began his journey toward the heart of the forest, where the woods grew denser and the trees stretched tall and ancient. The air was filled with the earthy scent of moss and fallen leaves, and a gentle breeze rustled the branches above him. As Oliver rolled along the winding path, he encountered more creatures of different shapes and sizes, each with their own wisdom and stories to share. As he rolled deeper into the forest, he met a wise old bat who, perched high in a tree, shared tales of the pumpkin families he had glimpsed on his nightly flights. The bat's stories filled Oliver's heart with anticipation and excitement. Oliver knew he had to be close to where his pumpkin family resided. Further along the path, Oliver came across a family of foxes who offered him guidance and shared their knowledge of the forest. They told him of a glade deep within the woods where the pumpkin families were known to gather and celebrate the beauty of autumn. With renewed determination, Oliver continued his journey, following the fox's guidance towards the heart of the forest. The path became overgrown and less defined, and the forest grew wilder. But Oliver pressed on, his glow lighting the way. As the sun dipped below the horizon once more, and the moon took its place in the night sky, Oliver finally arrived at the glade. It was a magical place, illuminated by the soft, silvery light of the moon. Tall, ancient oaks encircled a clearing where pumpkins of all shapes and sizes were gathered, their faces carved with smiles of joy. Oliver's heart skipped a beat as he recognized the joyful faces of his pumpkin family. Among the pumpkins gathered, there was Papa Pumpkin with his wise and weathered smile, Mama Pumpkin, who radiated warmth and love, and Little Pumpkinkin, the youngest, whose grin was as bright as the harvest moon. With tears of joy streaming down his pumpkin face, Oliver rolled forward, his light joining the warm, flickering glow of his family. The pumpkins embraced him, their reunion filled with laughter, stories, and love. Oliver finally felt complete, surrounded by the warmth of his family's smiles. As the night continued, they shared tales of their adventures and the memories they had created during their time apart. Oliver shared the stories of his journey down the mountain, through the village, the enchanted forest, and the heartwarming encounters he had experienced along the way. The pumpkin family welcomed Oliver with open arms, grateful to have him back home. They knew that although he had ventured far, he had found his way back to them, and that was all that truly mattered. From that night on, Oliver remained with his pumpkin family in the enchanted glade, celebrating the magic of autumn and the joy of togetherness. Their laughter and stories filled the forest, and their warm, flickering glow became a beacon of light in the heart of the woods. And so, my listeners, remember that family is a treasure that can warm your heart, no matter where your adventures take you. And as you close your eyes and drift off to sleep, imagine you are surrounded by Oliver and his pumpkin family. Their warm glow warms you as your breathing slows and becomes more restful. Know that the love of family and the magic of dreams will always guide you home. Good night, Giants.